Hello and welcome to Bronze Age Monsters, the show where we wade into the weirdest and wildest waters of the comic books of the 1970s. This season on B.A.M, we're covering the brief life of Atlas Seaboard Comics, the publishing venture of Martin Goodman that some say was a middle finger to Marvel and Stan Lee. Revenge is a dish best served in 4 colors. I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, everybody. Jacob, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hope you had a good one.
Yeah, got COVID.
Yeah.
But
you look good.
Yes, thank you. I am wearing my favorite Christmas present, which was as close to the Kurt Cobain MTV Unplugged sweater as Alicia's ever gotten. It's damn near identical. It's mohair. It's a shade darker. It's Jansen instead of Manhattan Industries. But as far as this is a sweater coup. This is the height. This is it. This is what we've been working for.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close. I think even he could be forgiven for mixing them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Well, I'm sorry to hear you got COVID, but I'm glad you're testing negative now, right?
I'm testing negative. No, I'm good. I'm back to work. Still just got a lingering, cough. So you'll hear that. But no, aside from that, we had a good Christmas. We were going to host, but then, I got COVID. So it was rescheduled and we had it just, 4 days later. And Alicia's family came over and it was fine.
I like fine.
Yeah, that's my
it's
Christmas
better than
good.
The alternative of bad.
Yeah.
So
Christmas is always just fine for me. No, I really pretended to love Christmas this year for my darling wife, who does actually love Christmas and is always fairly upset that I don't. And so I pretended to love it, and guess what? I kind of loved it.
Okay. I've done that before.
Yeah, where I'm like, fuck, I'm going to pretend I like this thing. Then I'm like, oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't achieve that this year, but I feel like between microdosing and vitamin D, a few days before Christmas, I kind of felt less like crying every day. So yeah, that's an improvement.
That is a slight improvement. And that's all we ask for these days, right? Yeah.
And I saw A Christmas Carol a couple different ways. So that's good.
Oh.
Always kind of makes you feel something. So glad it's over. Put it that way. I'm glad 2025 is almost over. I've enjoyed the Atlas Seaboard ride with you, but I'm really ready for this calendar year to be gone.
Yeah, it's close. We're so close. It's almost there.
Yep. Normally we wouldn't talk about time-sensitive, ephemera on the show like this, but I don't care because we have a few more episodes left, so I'll do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. Well, we need to mark this. These need to be in amber a little bit.
Yep. Indeed. So I did put out the ballots since the last episode. So those are up. I put them out on Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and Patreon as a public post. So you can access those. I thought we could mention real quickly, kind of clarify, since I saw the final ballot. We did make some small adjustments, and then we can kind of say, if you haven't voted yet, folks, go do that whenever you want. But Jacob set those up to have your top 5 Atlas Seaboard titles and your bottom 5 Atlas Seaboard titles. And so we've talked a bit throughout the season, like, do we want to have people try and guess what ours are or whatever? I'm thinking, if you want to gamble and try and guess what me or Jacob have and make that your top 5 and your bottom 5, and if you nail it, you'll get a prize. But if you just want to tell us what yours are and we pull them out, we'll be giving out some little prizes here and there throughout the way. So, if you just want to vote how you want to vote, but there are strategies you can do. You can try and guess what ours are, or just vote from your heart. That's your choice. And then there's a wild card that we stuck at the end that is your MVP from Atlas Seaboard, and that is meant to be very broad. Could be a character, could be a creator, could be someone in the bullpen, whoever you think, whoever the MVP of the Atlas Seaboard era was to you. Write that down. I'd like to share some of those.
Yeah, the people that have voted so far have gotten the assignment. Yeah, top 5, bottom 5, MVP, and it's going well.
Oh, people have already started voting. Okay.
Yeah. Not a ton, but I know those are going to trickle in over the next month or so.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be able to vote until the end.
Yes.
If I were in the audience, because I need all the data.
That's true. Because what if Demon Hunter is going to be your number one? You don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. Yep. There's that. Same thing I have with where I can't order at the table at a restaurant until I know what everyone else is getting first. I don't know what that's called. There's probably a name in French for it, but I have it.
Matt, this will blow your mind. At the county, at Klamath County, we have to turn in our timesheets like 5 days before the pay period is over. So you have to just be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to be working 8 hours these next like 4 work days. I guess.
That's madness.
It is madness. I don't understand why. Why do they do that? I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Do you have a punch clock?
Yeah, that would be amazing. No, it's just this thing. You know, I've worked there for 3 years and it still boggles my mind. When my little volunteers got, hired on at the county at a part-time job, and they kept being like, hey, you need to turn your time card in. And she was just like, I don't want to be a liar. And I was just like, well, she's right.
And do you get like company store script or something like?
Yeah, right. It's like only at the company town. Yeah,
that's
only
wild
in Klamath Falls, but no, it's a county job. I can't complain.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain either.
No.
Yeah, so folks, don't forget your ballots. I'll send out some reminders here as we get closer and closer. We do have 2 more episodes after this, and then we're going to take a little bit of time off to kind of do some fun stuff, tabulate votes, prep some things. Jacob and I decided that we are going to, there's probably going to be a pause between the last episode of the series and the finale. So we're going to do an audio only review of the Defender's Six-Fingered Hand. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Something that we've talked about for a long time. And a lot of people bought the Epic collection based on us saying that we were going to get to it eventually. So we thought we should probably review that.
Way more people than I thought did that.
Yeah,
They're just like, guys, I spent $30. Like, don't be a bunch of assholes.
So we are reviewing that somewhere between the last episode of the Atlas stuff and the finale. So might be a couple of weeks off, but we'll kick some stuff out for folks to keep them entertained. All right. Well, that's stuff, right? That's stuff and things.
That is stuff and things.
All right. So I'm very excited to bring our guest on because he's a good friend of mine and Jacob's, and we couldn't have him on last time because stuff came up, so he's available this time. So we're bringing on my good friend, Ben M. Hey, Ben.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great. How are you?
I am doing okay. I will say, though, I am disappointed I was not on last time because that was, well, not a great comic, a very fun comic, and especially that second half was a blast. So I'm bummed I didn't get to chat with you all about that one. So it was
that would have been fun.
quite fun.
I was surprised by how much I had fun with it, especially over like multiple reads and talking about it. I walked away with a smile, whereas at first blush I thought it was not good.
Yeah, it was kind of silly fun.
Yeah, it was very silly fun. So what's new with you, man? What's going on? What do people need to know?
I don't really have a ton going on right now. We and you mostly talk about me and drinks, I suppose. And we were just upstairs making our first ever batch of clarified milk punch. So we'll be trying that out in the next couple of days. Kind of intrigued to see how that works out.
Okay.
So if it works well, you might see some in your future.
So describe it a little bit.
So clarified milk punch is like spirits, tea, citrus, and surprisingly milk. And the point is you mix that all together and it curdles the milk. And so then you strain out the curdles, and you end up with this kind of almost unctuous, thickened liquid, right? That's it has some of that kind of silkiness of a milk, but it doesn't have any of the color or kind of fattiness. That's all kind of washed out. So kind of it's an interesting, like English traditional drink.
Okay, that was my question: was who do I blame for this creation? It sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody.
When you describe the process, it sounds way worse than it is.
Yeah, because it sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say unctuous describing a drink they're making for me.
A positive description of a drink. Yeah, but it sounded good. It sounds like you always make something good. All the signature drinks for this show that you've made have been the greatest. You are the house mixologist for B.A.M.
Yep. So is this something you found at Rum Club, or is this something you found in researching stuff?
So our friend Adam, who runs another bar in town called Deadshot, until
R.I.P.
today, I guess, actually. He has had a milk punch on a couple times, and he did one called a Pandan milk punch that was really quite fantastic. Not a flavor I would expected in there, but it was delicious. And we decided we wanted to, make something batched easy for New Year's Eve with some friends, and decided to give this a go.
Sweet.
I'm a fan of Pandan.
Full review.
It's such a strange taste, but I love it. Up at that, what's that Burmese restaurant up off of like 50th, past the and southeast, past the old Eagles Lodge. It's
Top Burmese. There's a couple in that kind of same area. I'm not sure what that one.
Yeah, it's Bistro. Bistro's in the name, I think. But anyhow,
I don't think I've been to that one.
Yeah, when I was up in Portland, my buddy Jason and I went there, and they had these Pandan cocktails, these whiskey and milk and Pandan, and it was amazing. So I love the flavor.
Nice. Yeah, we were just talking about harassing our friend and asking him how he got the Pandan in, if it was like in the syrup or what, so we could do that ourselves going forward.
That sounds good. Yeah. So, hey, Ben, I know that you don't practice Kung Fu or anything, so we weren't sure if that was a good fit for you, but are you any kind of a historian, related to World War II, or is that any area of interest for you, something that you study up on or anything or care about?
Not particularly. I was actually thinking about this when I was reading this comic, and I have, other than last season, obviously, I've not really read many war comics, and I was thinking about like other World War II media, and my great grandpa loved watching war movies. Right, that was like, I feel like that was on all the time. And I never really liked that. He watched those in Westerns. And when Westerns were on, I'd like to sit next to him and hang out and watch the Westerns. But when the World War II came on, I had no desire really to watch it. So not particularly.
Well, we have a bespoke experience for you tonight, my friend.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I was thinking, I do kind of like things that are tangential or kind of touch on the time period, maybe. Like, I was thinking about Hellboy is very informed by World War II, at least, right?
Yeah,
and I love
sure.
Hellboy stuff. Obviously, Indiana Jones was a big part of my growing up, and enjoy those things. But it's like fantastical mixed with the time period, maybe, is something I'm into. But
and you're a Nazi, so
and I am a Nazi.
Full disclosure. Yeah,
kidding.
Of course, we are kidding. No, yeah, I don't know. Matt, you and I have talked. We talked a little bit about this at Savage. Was it Savage Combat Tales? Was the first one that we did, and that, yeah. I mean, I don't know, Ben. I think I'm more. I mean, I like war films, but I like war comics better. I really got into war comics when I started kind of obsessing about the Marvel Atlas era comics of the late 40s, early 50s, and yeah, there's just lots of. There was a new the Atlas Comic Library just put out a new hardcover collection of war comics, and it's excellent. And there's like a 30-page essay at the beginning of it by I think it's Dr. Michael J. Vassallo, the comic historian, and it's awesome. It's so good, and yeah, I highly recommend anyone get that.
So at the end of this, should we do a throwback to That's Cool, That's Trash and anecdotes?
Possibly. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, we've talked a bit about, we did Creature Commandos. So we talked a lot about war comics that season 6. And, yeah, we've done a couple World War II things this season. So, yeah, I think we're ready to dive in then. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we are, again, circling the drain here of titles. This is another one and done. This is Blazing Battle Tales featuring Sergeant Hawk. This hit the stands on April 15th of 1975. It's cover dated July. And we have a cover here by Frank Thorne, which I'm a big fan of this cover. We're in an interior of a shack, And we see some GIs outside. It says, "A vet must be inside. Let's pick up the plans and beat it." And unbeknownst to these soldiers, inside there are Nazis hiding in the shadows, and they're holding Yvette with her hand over her mouth. She's a damsel in distress, guys. That's a drink.
Guys, are we going to talk? What are we drinking tonight?
I'm having a little gentleman Jack that I got in my stocking.
Ben, what about you?
I made a cocktail called a Midnight Stroll, which is rye, Campari, Ramazzotti, and dry Curacao. Curacao? I don't know.
What was that third ingredient?
Ramazzotti?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's an Italian like bitter aperitif.
Okay.
It's a little sweeter, a little different than Campari, but kind of in that same family.
So it's not like bitter, like a Cynar or something.
It's not quite like a Cynar, no.
Okay.
And
It's
is
hard
it
to
on the
describe.
rocks or up?
It is on the rocks, yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, that sounds good.
For me, I'm drinking a Christmas present as well, Matt. I'm drinking some Shanky's Whip, which is a very interesting Irish coffee liqueur drink. And got a big old mug of coffee. So that's I love it. I kind of love this stuff now. Get myself a lot of it in here. So
Renee got that one Christmas from a coworker or something like that, and it was coveted in our house till it was gone.
oh man, yeah, I've been converted in the last half hour. So I'm a big
I had
fan.
never heard of it, and I am now thinking of going and trying to find some.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm shocked. Like you have an encyclopedic knowledge. I figured, I don't know. I'd never heard of it either, but I don't know anything.
Well, I have two things going against me for things like that. I don't go to the liqueur section super often, and I'm very tall, so anything like below the mid shelf, it's very hard for me to just like see unless I'm looking for it.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna use that from now on, Ben. I'm sorry. No, you are taller than I am, but I am still tall, so I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, so in regards to this cover, I really like this perspective. Like you're one of the German soldiers almost looking out, like point of view, kind of crouched down. I think it's super well done by Thorne. What do you think, Ben?
So I liked it at first. I still like it, but then a couple things started to bug me about it. One, the guy with the gun is like holding the barrel, which is very weird to me.
Yeah.
Like not the stock. He's like holding the barrel.
In the foreground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is the commander wearing an ascot and a cape?
It's a scarf. It's a jaunty scarf.
But on
What's
the back,
behind
is
him,
is that just a very long scarf?
Yeah, it's just a super long scarf.
Okay.
He's jaunty.
That's very jaunty.
But that's fair. I can see that being a little weird.
When I noticed it, I was thinking about Larry David in that Seinfeld episode.
That's exactly what I was just thinking of, honestly. When George saw his dad meeting a man with
the man with the cape. Yeah.
the cape. Yeah, this is literally what I was thinking of. There you go. Jacob?
But I do like it.
I love it. Yeah, this is I kind of wish Frank Thorne did more, but with this issue. But no, I thought this cover was great. I love the blazing is on fire. You know, I don't know. It's like all the fonts for the title, they're pretty like wrote what you would expect, but they all work really well for me. I love the title. I love the perspective. And I don't know. I really, really liked it.
I don't know what you guys were complaining about the guns and whatever, Ben. Like, all I was looking at was those gams going all the way up.
Yvette does look beautiful and is great. And
like, I didn't even notice until we were just talking that, oh, there's the plans in the little attaché case by the front door.
yeah, no,
I was looking at her figure the entire time I looked at it. Apparently, I need to have HR send me to some type of class or something.
yeah, there's some trainings you need to take now. BAM trainings.
It's so close to the end. Why bother?
Why bother? Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into this thing.
All right, so yeah, we get kind of a Oh yeah, okay. We do have credits on this. Yeah, it's funny because we don't get a title until like 3 pages in, but we get credits this time, which is weird. I normally would say the title, but and also our narration is not it's by this GI up in the corner, and I'll just read it because I like to read the narration. It says Sergeant Hawk and his killer platoon was what they called us. We weren't spit and polish or glory boys looking for chest decorations. We were just a confident bunch of sore-footed dog faces spoiling for a fight any time and any place. And that's why me and a couple of my Joes were picked for a special mission that began when, blam! It says a German 888 lying hidden in the underbrush swung its long steel barrel around and wham! What was once a moving vehicle instantly disappeared, changed to a twisted heap of motionless, smoking scrap. So our cast of creators, we got script, John Albano, pencils, Patrick Broderick, inks, Jack Sparling, and editor, Larry Lieber. So, I mean, we've had these guys multiple times over the series. John Albano, he has written wrote story in Devilina, thrilling adventure stories. He wrote Planet of the Vampires 2 and 3, Tales of Evil number 2 featuring the Bog Beast, Phoenix 3, and this issue here, Blazing Battle Tales. I didn't know, I forgot, I'm sure I did this when we first came into him. It was probably like Devilina, I think, is where we did, but I didn't realize that he was as old as he was. He was born in the 20s.
Really?
Yeah. Born in 1922. First credit from 1951 is in the timely men's humor comic Comedy Number 7.
So he was 70 when he was writing this.
No.
Really?
No, he's 50.
Did you say 20s and 70s?
I thought he would be 25, 30 years old.
Okay.
No.
I always just figured, wow.
That's what I thought too. And I was just like, I need to bring this up because I thought for sure, like, yeah.
That blows my mind.
I know. So he didn't work. I mean, yeah. So he worked on the, just kind of going through his credits and looking at the different like men's adventure and humor magazines, the titillating jokes and everything. They're all like, they're so goofy, but you realize back in the day that, yeah, Goodman probably just made a bucking fortune with those things. And then was just like comics, pulps, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he when he went to work for DC, he worked on the horror and sci-fi books. But then, Matty started doing gigs for All Star Western. He first did Billy the Kid, which I had forgotten about before he co-created Jonah Hex. His main feature in All Star Western was Billy the Kid.
I don't know if I've read that.
It's in the earlier issues because when Jonah Hex comes in, 8 or 9,
yeah,
I think. And 11, so the ones maybe? Before that, yeah, I think it is 11 or 12.
10.
But yeah, so he co-created Jonah Hex and Tomahawk. And then we got these here. Funny, Matt, from the 80s on, he worked almost exclusively writing for Archie.
Really?
He wrote for Archie for like 20 years.
Oh, love that guy.
I know. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I know. I was just like, Jesus, did we not talk about him? Or did you and I did I research this and just completely forget it? And it makes me feel good that you've completely forgotten it too, if I did already talk about this. So
I think you did some of his credits. I don't think we knew how old he was. This is blowing my mind.
Yeah. Born in 1922.
Damn.
Yeah. So what is he? 55 here? No. Is this 1974? Are we in right now or 5?
75.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. 53 years old.
Okay.
But, and you and I are fans of Pat Broderick. And, we last saw him and Jack Sparling, I think, in Planet of the Vampires 1 and 2. And then he did issue 3 of Phoenix.
Can you help me remember? Didn't he draw something that was a proposed character? Was it in Devilina that was like a superhero that it was like a New York City, and this guy gets beat up by all these punks, and then he turns into a superhero? It was like a 4-page story, and it was supposed to be a bigger thing, and then the magazine never went on. Is that this season?
That's not the one that Toth... right? No, I don't think
It's like
it was.
Dark Crusade, Dark Avenger, or something.
I think
like
it was
that.
Dark Avenger. Yeah, I think you're right.
What was that in Devilina 2?
It was supposed to be in Devilina 2, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. We just read the origin. It's been bugging me because I was like, oh yay, Pat Broderick. I like that Dark Avenger thing. And then I opened this up, like, where's Pat Broderick? So how deep in his career is he at this point on this book? He's new, right?
Yeah, he's not an old workhorse by any means.
Like, what's his first credit? Like, what year?
I'm not sure when it is. We had last talked with him about him, and yeah, I didn't go back to it. But I know this is pretty early in his career.
Okay, yeah. I have the impression that he started like 72, 73. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay.
But
Sparling, so he's an old man too, right?
Sparling's an old man too, yeah, we had talked about him earlier as well. And yeah, a lot of yeah. So yeah, Broderick's the young Turk here.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about this. Let's talk about the page. So aside from, I don't know, I thought this page was actually pretty good. I mean,
yeah, but isn't it really old fashioned? Like the character looking at us and talking to us, that feels very golden age.
It's very golden age. It's like, even pre-Atlas War comic. It's very just like, no, it's very corny. And the guy, look, I don't know. I don't know if Sparling over Broderick's pencils makes it super old fashioned or not, but it definitely, this whole issue has it's very old fashioned and kind of clunky in places.
Yeah.
But
the hard-boiled dialogue.
But a lot of hard-boiled.
Was really, I set the tone pretty quickly right there. The one thing I liked about this page especially is the crazy position the bodies are flying out of that vehicle. Just, I mean, wild.
Yeah, but I don't know, that panel on the bottom I really loved though. I love the gal. I love just her. I don't know. I was really drawn to that. I thought that was really, really well done. Even though the layout of this page is shit. It's so weird. like on a whole, it's very underwhelming, but I like the action of that first big panel, and that small horizontal panel at the bottom I thought was really striking.
Yeah, I was drawn to that bottom panel as well. Okay, let's move on. So we flash back to just 24 hours after that action, or flash forward, I guess. We see Sergeant Hawk. He's brought in, and he's being given a special mission. He finds out he's briefed on this character, a French underground leader named Yvette Duchamp, and the Germans had seized her after that explosion we saw on page 1, and they think they know where she's being held prisoner, but they say we don't have sufficient force to launch an attack on the site where she's being held. So the solution is, Sergeant Hawk's like, oh, so you think me and 2 of my men, like, yeah, you might have a chance. I was like, what? We don't have enough men to storm this German camp, so you and 2 other guys go do it. But she's, they're saying, well, she's a security risk. She knows the names of hundreds of French and Dutch partisans. So if they torture her and get names, a lot of people are at risk here. And, Sergeant Hawk's in the foreground scowling us down, saying, if she's being worked over, she's being tortured right now. And the guy says, that's an understatement, I'm afraid. I believe he's from MI, so he's a British guy, I think, the guy with the pipe. And they're saying, yeah, we know that she's being worked over pretty bad because the girl's being held captive by one of the most sadistic officers in the German command. His own men call him. So we get this little setup for a page turn here. But, what'd you guys think of this?
The art was super uneven. Major Kelly, I don't feel like I could, if he didn't have a pipe, I wouldn't have known it was the same character. He just looked so, those right there. How's that the same person?
I don't know.
It's he aged 15 years maybe, but.
Well, he's made out of silly putty. And then it suddenly solidifies into a grizzled warhorse.
Yeah, he's like Richard Nixon on the left, and then like a quintessential World War II general on the right.
Yeah, when I'm casting back throughout the season to think of like who I was uninspired by the art this much, which book it's definitely Sikowski, who did a lot of work early in the season, and he was definitely that kind of thing where it's like panel to panel, characters look different, and it just felt like it was just not a good mix between the inker or whatever. Like this feels to me that same kind of thing where it's just like, I don't know if this is a rush job, I don't know what's going on, but it does not work for me.
Yeah, I don't like the composition of the face staring right at me like that in the center panel we're on now, but I like the art itself. I think if that were like somewhere else, like it looks good. It's just the composition of it being like zoomed in on us is very bizarre. And old fashioned is probably the right way.
Yeah, I enjoyed that panel personally. I thought that worked for me, but just with the scowling commanding officer in the background, and him just the 1,000-yard stare, and we just happen to be down the barrel of that stare. It works for me, but I can see how it might not be for everybody. And I like the tones, the colors as well.
Yeah, the colors is what sold me on it. But yeah, Ben, this is the page where I was just like, oh, okay, uneven, capital U. That's just how it's gonna be. I don't know, but I mean, Matt, we've read every different type of comic this season. Just to run, I don't know, every single thing. But yeah, I think it's interesting, and we realized that's when we were doing Creature Commandos, is that, why things that make a comic really not work. And it's interesting. And I know it's obvious, but yeah, inconsistent faces from panel to panel. There's a dissonance that it does to your brain to where you're just like, I'm not even in the story. I don't even know what's happening. I'm just floating above everything. That's what
daring you to stay involved.
It is, and it's very difficult, and that's what I found. So when I was reading, I was just like, why does this not work? And yeah, Ben, you brought it up right at the beginning. Inconsistency of faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move to the next page. So we had the big page turn. His own men call him the one-armed beast, and then. Yeah. Okay. So here's where we are meeting the other people. He's like, oh, well, that was it then. A pretty soft-faced doll had to be rescued, and quick. Because with each minute that passed, she'd be suffering every agony that those sick-minded Nazi scum could invent. He says, I picked a tough little Indian named White Cloud, a cool hand killer named Goldberg to accompany me on the mission. And so... yeah, I mean, we're realizing that, this title is going to be a pastiche of Sergeant Fury, Sergeant Rock. It's just going to take characters from all of it and be like, this still works, right? It's the same ingredients. This works, right?
It's like the counter. It's like the opposite number of what was the guy we liked so much in the last Savage Combat Tales? Stryker.
Oh yeah, Sergeant Stryker.
Right. I mean, Stryker's all about character and building character up and then putting him in the situation, and this is all about tropes and like shorthand and you know what I mean?
Oh, I know, it just makes it so slight. Like, and I wondered that like if we didn't have something like Savage Combat with Sergeant Stryker, like if we hadn't had that earlier in the season, maybe we just would have been like, yeah, this is fun, whatever. But God, that character looms so large for me in this season that yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, we'll go on. But yes, trope upon trope is happening here. So we started in daylight, and they're in through the muck with their guns, and that's like, oh, okay, we better study the layout for a while, Sergeant. And then, yep, they start crawling over. We got less than 3 hours of daylight. We hit them now. Those two sentries get it first. And that panel is kind of cool. That final panel there with the action, and like the blade is kind of raised up above to the next panel. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I thought that panel was really cool. We got the guys dying by knife, and I love the foreground, and then another in the background. I don't know. I thought that was cool. And that's the thing. In a lot of these pages, there's a lot of inconsistencies and stuff, but some panels are really, really well executed. And I have to say the inconsistency I feel has to be Sparling.
So for me, I mean, the writing is also really suspect throughout this whole thing. Like, again, they've crept up on this German camp. They're just 3 against dozens and dozens of German soldiers. And they say, let's hang out here and get a sense of where we are. And he says, nope, we've only got 3 hours of daylight. Let's do our super secret invasion mission while we have daylight on us. What
Daylight.
I don't understand that.
That was my very first reaction too.
Gibberish.
Like,
That's gibberish. You're trying to sneak into a camp and save someone, and you need to do it while the noonday sun is on you. I don't know. I don't get it.
So I had a mixed reaction to that bottom panel, Jacob. I like the breaking the plane part, but if you're sneaking up to kill an enemy combatant, would you do this?
Yeah.
Right?
Instead of
reach
just
far behind you and just like,
But it looks so
swing
cool.
4 feet. It does look cool,
Yeah.
but like that is not how you would do that.
No, it's
No.
not.
No, he's a gentleman, Ben. You give them a chance to scream "Mein Gott" 3 times before you kill him. Gentleman's rules.
That is what a gentleman would do. But yeah, I mean, we'd think, Atlas was embracing the ultra violence. So you would think that maybe a little throat slit from behind would have been kind of allowed, at least in silhouette. But nope, it's all action.
So I'm not quite sure because he's not dead, but he's pending death. Is this a dead Nazi we're drinking for, or
I don't
not
know.
quite?
I don't know. I don't think so yet. I think
Okay,
unless
not
you
yet.
see one.
Yeah, we got to.
No off-screen deaths. It has to be
you always confirm a Nazi's death.
Yeah. Yep. If you can do it with a scalp, we prefer that,
Yeah.
but we'll take whatever
Yeah.
you got. I really like that last panel as well, Jacob. And like Ben said, maybe it's not the most practical approach to the enemy, but it sure looks fucking cool.
It does look really cool.
And I love Goldberg and White Cloud being in silhouette back there. That's awesome.
And also just funny duo. Good old White Cloud and Goldberg.
Yep.
It's an old-timey comedy duo there.
I know. I was like trying to cast back. Like, so what is the shorthand Albano's doing? Like, okay, so a Jewish guy would definitely like be motivated, and then White Cloud, you need a tracker. You need like this almost supernatural, preternatural tracker to take care of all this business, all the soft skills, all the almost bordering on psychic ability to commune with nature. Like it's just kind of like, again, it's just all just shorthand stuff, right? All these cliches.
Goofy.
Okay. So they ran into one more Kraut who was on his way to bathe, and he's Starkers, just naked. And they just come out of the bushes like Homer. He died dirty. So that bit of business.
laughed out loud when I turned.
So did I.
I did too.
And they said he died. That's confirmed kill. So that
Okay,
is a
confirmed
Nazi,
kill.
dead Nazi drink.
Drink to those Nazi fuckers dying.
And I'm going to need to pause after this page and get some more drink because there's so many dead Nazis.
That's
in this
true.
Issue. All right, so he's like saying, all right, Goldberg, so if you were a German soldier stashed in a prisoner, where would it be? And he's like, that shack up there, Sarge. So they check and like, I can't see what's going on there. It's pitch black. And so they open up a window and Hawk climbs in and White Cloud and Goldberg scuttles around to the side. He says, well, since Goldberg's hunches are always on the money, we'll check it out. And they climb into the pitch dark. See anything, Sergeant? Says White Cloud. Not a thing, White Cloud. Wait till I strike a match. And then the light comes on in the room. That will not be necessary, Sergeant. Throw down your weapons. It's the one-armed, whatever he's called, bandit demon. What's he called? One-armed something.
Isn't it funny? It was 2
Killer?
pages ago and we forgot. One-armed beast.
Beast.
It made such an impression.
Yeah.
So he has a gun in his one-armed hand. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other Nazis around there, and there's a vet strung up. And so, he says, throw down your weapons, and Sergeant Hawk says, sure thing, Goose Stepper, but first. So we got an exciting page turn action, at least.
There's a couple of those.
Yeah. But the business is about to go down here, so I need to get some more dead Nazi juice.
Okay, agreed.
So I'll be right back.
Me too.
All right, we got some Rittenhouse house, 100 proof,
Oof.
and seltzer.
Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, it's my page. So, all right. And again, we had a nice page turn. So, okay. First he says, sure thing, Goose Stepper. But first, hit him, White Cloud. And I did not expect this. Like, normally it's a thing to where it's like 3 dudes surrounded by other dudes. And they're like, oh, shit, you got us. Like, hands up. Nope. White Cloud. And so he throws a grenade, but just hits the guy in the head with the grenade. Yeah, White Cloud. He has his knife raised in the other hand. Looks like White Cloud's just blam 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 blam, and immediately it's like they don't understand what no, we got the Nazis are like we got the drop on you. No, you don't. That's not how this works.
Uncle Sam says otherwise.
Uncle Sam does say otherwise. And so blam blam.
A grenade being thrown right in his face. Just
his face.
Hilarious.
With the pin in, right?
Yeah, the pin in.
Just smacked him.
He just uses it like a baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, okay, I mean, how many are dead? Did he get 2? He looks like he got 2. Right?
I thought that was just one dead.
Okay, so
I
one
thought the
dead,
other one was
right.
just stunned.
Yeah,
He dropped his gun.
Just one.
okay.
Here we
Drinking
go.
for that.
Dead Nazi. The only good ones.
Yeah, the only good ones. And then, okay, we get another one, a little fit knife to the chest, to the sternum, it looks like. And so he's down.
Easy.
One more. Got the
He's
other
in
Nazi is drawing his gun. Kapow, kapow. Oh, how did he die? Then we realize, oh, nope. Sarge behind him saying, sometimes I wonder about you, Goldberg. So they're quipping, they're killing Nazis, everything's good, all is right with the world. So one more down.
What is the joke?
I don't know, right? Again, this
shoot
is
him in the back.
yeah, shoot him back. I wonder
I
about
didn't get
you.
it at all.
That's why they're a weird comedy team. I don't know if you guys have listened to any of those. We have them, and a lot of them are very problematic. But the ethnic comedy stylings 78s of those duos, and wow, it's a lot of jokes you don't get, and you probably don't really want to get or ask follow-up questions. So that's what made me think of.
Goldberg crept around and shot a Nazi in the back through an open window. Sometimes I
Wasn't
wonder
he
about
in
you.
the?
No,
or was
White
it
Cloud.
just the 2 of them?
Yeah, yeah. You could see Goldberg was
Okay.
going around the corner outside.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't get the quip. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Anyhow, so yeah, and then it's like, that one-armed colonel, where? Said, he lit out when the action started, Sarge, but I get the feeling we're going to meet him outside with the whole blasted German army. And so, yeah, one of them picks up a vet who, yeah, this is the first as we're this is first kind of sight of her that we're getting, that she is very injured. They have put her through the ringer. So we're going to get more info on that.
Yep. White Cloud was right. The colonel roused every Fritzy in the place to halt our escape. So yeah, it's just absolute mayhem out there. And Hawk says, take the girl and head for the woods, White Cloud. We see in the distance, just blam, 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 just Nazis flying around like split wood. Goldberg was already in action as we stepped outside, tossing grenades like he was pitching for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
We've already seen it happen.
Yeah, so there's a couple dead Nazis.
Right there, flying up.
Yeah, Goldberg's just lobbing them.
Yeah.
The air quickly filled with buzzing pieces of death as Goldberg and I covered White Cloud's retreat. Bada, 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 blam, blam, ping, ping. So we got that stuff going on, and then we see a potato masher come flying towards our guys. Something fell by my partner's feet. He was too busy with grenade pens to notice, and so Hawk just kicks it out like it's a soccer ball. And it flies back to the Nazis and kills several of those. Another drink.
Holy shit. Well, like he was saying earlier, just like, you're like, oh, we don't have 100 men. We're going to send you 3 guys in. Well, they're doing pretty good.
They are.
Yeah.
They're the best at what they do, bub.
Yeah.
So I did like the potato masher.
It's always a good, I did love that. I don't know, some of these panels, I liked the art on this page. I thought the art was pretty cool. I mean, serviceable as it is for a war comic, but I don't know, for something about the little crouch that he's doing, just about to, like he is pitching. I did like that.
Yeah. There was something with the very first kind of wide panel that while I understand comics time, I didn't love it for some reason. It felt like it should have been 2 panels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it just maybe it's them talking and him throwing in one didn't like. Just it took me a minute to like, what on earth is going on? Oh, he threw that thing. Okay. Oh, I didn't love the way that presented to me at first.
See, that didn't bother me because it kind of made sense, right? Because there was a couple rounds, there's some fire going on in the shack.
Yeah.
So the soldiers are charging up. Goldberg's already lobbing grenades as these guys are charging the shack where Yvette was held. So this all kind of makes sense to me, timing wise. And they step out and just see, okay, well, Goldberg's got this under control for the moment. So White Cloud, you get her out of here. And then we get some awesome.
The bottom though is a blast.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, next page. So yeah, they get out. It says we made it out of there and joined White Cloud and the girl. So they're starting to, fix her up. They got the first aid kit out. And yeah, and this is where they're like, oh, she'd been worked over real good by that crummy one-armed colonel. But the kid hadn't talked. But then he's saying, some of the cuts and burns that covered her would leave scars. And he says that they didn't move from their cover for almost 2 days. What does that mean? I didn't understand that.
Like hiding in a bush for 2 days?
For 2 days.
Like under a felled tree or like in a cave, or like with MREs, I guess, for 2 days. That's how I read that. But a lot of I'm no sergeant at wartime, but a lot of the calls made here are baffling to me. And so, yeah, they just sit tight. Everyone passes. And they were going back towards the American line. And then, Sergeant is scouting the area. He's like, that's when I saw it. It was a German grave detail getting ready to hide some American corpses out here in the forest. And then you recognize some of those Joes are from my regiment, and their bodies have the same cuts and burns as the French dolls. That filthy one-armed butcher must have tortured them unmercifully. So I don't know why the thought bubble coming from the left into the right panel made me mad. Am I wrong?
It didn't bother me for some reason.
I don't know why it bothered me. Something about I don't know. Something about these 2 panels. I didn't like it. It unsettled me.
Like to me, if it was like, if you think about a movie, like they'd be like looking at him and panning over and you'd be hearing that as you're seeing it develop. And
yeah, that makes sense.
For that reason, it didn't really bug me. I could see why it would, but.
Yeah, Jacob, now that you're pointing out, it is bugging me. Like, because you're undercutting and that's when I saw it, and the expression of horror on his face by attaching the next thought that comes. If you just brought those dots from the thought balloon over to his helmet on the right side of this 2-panel spread,
that's what I'm saying.
It would be the exact same thing. It's like it makes the time wrong. Or it breaks up time.
You described it perfectly. It's undercutting what the cool panel is. It's the reveal. It's his face. Yeah. It's like, and then when I saw it, and then I don't know. I know it makes sense. And Ben, when you explain it like that, it definitely makes sense cinematically.
Cinematically, it does.
Yeah, but there is something, I don't know. And there's that whole thing, about comics being cinematic, but then also absolutely not being cinematic in the way that they tell stories. So I don't know. Yeah. 2 different camps, but I do get what you're saying, Ben. I don't know. Something about it bugged me though. I just like, now that I'm talking through, like the weight of the left panel of the horror, I think it needs to stand on its own. It's strong. It is strong. So it's a strong panel.
Attaching other stuff to it from another panel undercuts it. I guess that's my final.
It also could have just been narration, I suppose, right? It's not like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a perfect point. Yeah, it could have just been narration on top of the second panel.
It didn't have to be a thought, because it's like not change. And the tense is different, I suppose, but it doesn't really change the voice that much.
This story started with him telling it, and like from the present, saying this is what happened. Yeah. So We don't need these thought balloons to put us in the present. It's not important. We already know this happened, and that he lived, right? No.
Yeah.
So just stick with the VO, stick with voiceover, stick with the narration. Yeah, that's the other thing that bugged me. There's no reason for this thought balloon, except for that bottom one. I think that could be in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Telling the butcher. That makes sense. The rest should be narration. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're fixing this. I'm going to fax these changes back 40 years in the past, and we'll get this sorted out.
Lieber, get on it. Yeah.
So he quit thinking and went into action. He tossed a couple grenades. We're back to narration here. In the center of those gray-clad ghouls. This is at least one sip, guys.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So this huge panel of some dead American GIs in the foreground and a bunch of Nazis being exploded by ordnance. And we see Hawk in the background popping out of the bushes and lobbing grenades. And then he put some little round holes in those who survived the blast. So he's just finishing off the ones that didn't die from the grenades. And afterwards, he went down and took a closer look at the American bodies. And then at this point, he just snaps. Like he's in rage, like blackout. Like he's gone red. He says, when I turned to go back, I ran into Goldberg. He had heard the noise and came on the double. What's up, Sarge? As he's running towards him. I couldn't answer. Rage had taken possession of my thinking, my reasoning. So he doesn't even speak to Goldberg. He's just like, he's not there anymore. Nobody's home. Mental images were all that was left. And Goldberg's just looking like, huh? Images of that pretty French kid and what had been done to her. So he's supposed to be the voice of reason and the sober commander of this tiny unit here. And he's berserker mode at this point. I mean, he saw a bunch of dead soldiers and some of them that were in his company. So, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. He's probably seen a lot of shit.
He's seen a lot of shit. I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I just don't, I mean, we're not all that far from, we're halfway through the story and I don't know who Sergeant Hawk is. I don't have any idea who he is.
Yep. He's not a pacifist.
No, he is not a pacifist. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's either he's berserker, he's in charge of his guys. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we're seeing more of this on the next page. It says images of over a dozen American Joes lying cold and stiff with their eyes closed forever. And you see his face, and he's just he is, like you said, Matt, going in berserker mode. Okay, and Goldberg, I mean, I know he's registering his disbelief, but it's like a question mark, bigger question mark.
Let's think about what he's going to do when he goes back to Arkham. I could start robbing places.
Oh my God.
My name is Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
Nobody just calls me Goldberg.
But then, so we're back to the narration. Minutes later, I race past White Cloud and the girl without even seeing them because he's the CO. That's what you do when you're in charge of other soldiers. And Goldberg's like, Sergeant Hawk, where? He's like, hey, what's with the Sarge, Goldberg? Why? Which I thought was great for some reason. He saw some things he didn't like, White Cloud, and I saw them too. And so then...
All right, pause.
Okay. Help us out here, Ben.
I need some logistical help here.
Okay, I'm with you.
So Sarge was by himself, saw all this, shot them up, then walked back to where he left everyone. They met partway. He then got mad again and just marched back.
I think since he turned away from the pile of dead soldiers, American soldiers, and now a pile of dead Nazis, he's been storming back this whole time. Like, he hasn't stopped. So Goldberg met him halfway when he heard the explosions, and he just walked past him and blew him off. And then he walked past White Cloud and Yvette. Still, no recognition. He's got tunnel vision. He's heading back to the camp they just ran away from 2 days ago. He's going to finish the job. He's going to kill every goddamn camp. Nazi there.
Okay. I thought he was going back to where he saw all this. I was so confused.
No. He's going back to the camp they got Yvette from.
Okay, yeah. Ben, that was my first thought too. So it's again, the narrative is pretty confusing.
It is.
And so, so he's
got it. I did not. I on 2 reads did not catch that.
Yeah. But and then
Let's talk
bottom
about Tex Avery.
I know. Bottom panel.
I definitely did the wolf anime cartoon thing.
Oh,
Good
man.
Lord.
So, yeah, he's running back. You sit tight while I catch up with the Sarge. From the look in his eyes, he's made this his personal war, which ain't fair, but I can fix that. Yeah, you're right. It's almost like Albano writing got distracted, too. And so, he's looking at it just like, yeah, because we get a very salacious view of Yvette.
With some weird angles going on.
There's some weird angles going on, but it's still amazing. I mean, it's still incredible, but very strange angles.
Is one of her secrets she's keeping the Brazilian butt lift secret?
Mm-hmm. It's where the plans are stored every time.
Were you waiting for me to take a drink, Matt?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen I think I might post these on the Discord at some point, but when Marvel would give the original art from Spider-Man issues to Mexico to translate and reprint, they would make alterations to make the women reflect their tastes in women. Mm-hmm. Ben, have you ever seen these?
No.
Where Gwen Stacy has just got it going on downstairs?
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
love them.
They're so good.
I was like, oh my God, they don't have to be skinny white girls. You know?
They don't.
There's some stuff going on. Yvette's got it going on.
Yeah.
But notwithstanding her strange anatomy there, which is real, the more I look at it, the more surreal it's starting to look. It looks like a full dirty diaper now.
Yeah.
But White Claw standing next to her, like, I like the actual composition. I think the anatomy and physiology of her is odd, but like, he looks rad. Just like standing there watching Goldberg run after Hawk. The panel's cool.
It is. But this is like at least the third time I think we've had a pretty detailed representation of a canteen.
That's what I have written down.
Forefront.
I love that fucking canteen.
I did not notice. Oh, okay. I did notice some of them. I didn't notice this one. This canteen porn.
Mm-hmm. I'm in it for the canteen. I don't know about you guys.
Okay. So, Goldberg's continuing after all. The Sarge and me been together long enough for me to picture what he's thinking. They spent way too much time together, apparently. And everybody's it's got plenty to do with the torture of that, the French doll had to take. So yeah, Goldberg's like, they're psychically linked. They probably have their periods at the same time at this point. And he's picturing now what he thinks Hawk is picturing. It doesn't take much of an imagination to picture what it must have been like. And we're seeing the one-armed beast and Yvette strung up. And then we get some of the most imaginative art, at least in the whole issue. This row down here, again, continuing this like just supposition of what Yvette went through. The despair. And you see a hot knife, like red hot knife. And she is almost laid out like a road. And Goldberg is walking the road or something. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's how it looked to be. I thought that was kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. If it's intentional.
Yeah, I enjoyed
You're right.
that first panel there for sure.
It's like, yeah, her torture is like a road to his violence or something. If that was the case, it's very like Frank Miller or something. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then it says, and then the terrible pain, you see just Yvette again in his mind. So she's just crosshatched all of the shading. So it's like, she's more of like smoke and memory or something, or theory than anything else. And the terrible pain, just think about that one-armed butcher, is enough to make me kill and angry. Especially after what I just saw. So we've switched from Goldberg imagining what Hawk was thinking to Hawk actually thinking it, which is a weird shift. And then we get another panel here, this quad thing. The third one is like kind of cool because Hawk's, the brim of his helmet almost creates a division between the top and bottom. So the top, you see his mind. At the top of his helmet is showing what he's thinking, which is dead GIs. And below he's just gritting his teeth like, Wolverine or Punisher or something like that. Just raging. And then the last panel is when we got within about a mile of the German camp, crackling burst of ack-ack told me the Krauts were about to come under air attack. So these three guys taking care of this entire camp of soldiers just got the cavalry coming in. Or it's on its way.
So
Yeah,
is this just a way to have like the time pass of walking a mile or walking some distance? because it felt like a very weird time to have like this flashback that's not a flashback, this imagination back about what happened. It felt weird, but it's the art's some of the coolest, like you said, right? It's the most imaginative, it's the most interesting things we've seen, really. But the timing of having this in here just felt a little off. Other than time passed, right? So that helped with that. But
I don't get Broderick's choices in this whole book.
I don't either. It's a giant mystery.
Yeah.
But you're right. These 4 panels, they are really interesting. I think imaginative is the best word that both of you used to describe it. Because does it work? Kinda. But it also is really weird and also doesn't make any sense. So
You know what it reminded me of, Jacob?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
what? Oh, go on.
It that little sequence there kind of reminded me of Carrillo.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where he would just bust out and just do almost like bordering on psychedelic, like just kind of like, whoa, what is this like crazy abstract thing?
No, a nice callback to one of the more positive things from the Creature Commando season. Yeah. It did introduce us to Fred Carrillo, and we do,
I do cherish that.
Who still has barely anything about him existing on the internet.
It's wrong.
It is. So, all right. So then on this next page, we get a nice little splash page. It says, by the time we arrived, the American bombers had done their job, and those Fritzies that survived the Holocaust had already fled. Weird choice of words. Fritzies. But I don't know. Just throwing Holocaust around.
Oh, that, using it
I didn't love
the
that.
opposite way. The Holocaust of Nazis.
Yeah, the Holocaust of Nazis. I was just like, ooh, I don't know about that. But yeah,
I just hated this whole page.
I hated this page too. It's not great. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be this like boom, this giant chord that's supposed to just kind of like tie everything together and show the horrors of war. But it's just really poorly rendered and
The smoke looks like a river in a weird way. Like, I don't know, it's just
in the foreground.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there was
I did not
a
care
lot
for this at all.
I fully agree. I did not care for this, and we're supposed to. This is supposed to be the big, the big deal.
The payoff. Yeah.
It's the payoff. You're right, but this was very underwhelming to me.
Do you guys? Did either of you have an issue? I did with, like, I'm in a blackout rage. I'm going to get revenge for the torture and whatever of this poor girl, and then you come up and they're all dead. Like, I'm sorry. Do I not? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a writer, but that seems like a complete wet fart of a climax.
Well, that's the thing. This whole page, structure, story wise, like this whole page is a giant letdown.
Because in my mind, I was like, oh God, when they were slaughtering them before, when they were pulling a vet out of there, like that's nothing. When I turn the page, I'm going to see the biggest ballet, John Woo ballet of violence, doves flying in slow motion, just ballet with machine guns. And it's like, nope, they're all dead. Bombers came in and dropped a bunch of bombs. They're all dead. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Okay.
But we're on our last page.
Yeah.
However, there are a lot of dead Nazis.
All right. Let's take a big old gulp, gentlemen, for that one.
We didn't see him die, but I'll count these as scalps. They're corpses. All right. But it's really the Sargent story from here on. So apparently that was all Goldberg supposing what Hawk was thinking that whole time.
I was so confused at this point.
That was all Goldberg's reverie. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Because he ends it here. Wow. Okay. So Hawk says, yeah, did you hear a Jeep start up? It's him. The one-armed sadist is trying to escape. And so you won't get me this time, Joes. And he's riding off. Desperately, he jammed the accelerator and bolted forward. And at the same time, I squeezed off one quick burst. The bullet found its mark. The colonel slumped over the steering wheel and began a crazy ride down the hill. We see it boom, 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 going down a hill. And it hits a tree, explodes, bursts into flames, thick smoke. Goldberg and I stood motionless, watching a devil on his way to hell. And the one hand from the one-armed beast had is in the foreground, just over the top of the windshield as flames are engulfing the chassis. Again, two just anticlimactic things for me. Like, no, like, say your prayers, or, like, look into the face of the woman there's no dramatic closure.
No.
He shoots, he just goes bap, 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 bap. One of the bullets happens to catch the dude in the back as he's driving away, and then he hits a tree and explodes. That's our satisfying conclusion? I don't know, man. I just read this, I was just kind of shaking my head for most of the time, like, what the fuck?
And it looks like New Mexico or Arizona or something, not Germany or France.
Well, I've never been to Germany. I've been to France, but this could be that.
I guess. No, I know. Yeah. And Matt, even like, I don't know, we'll save it till the end.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, fellas, so we get our next story. We didn't have to stay with Sergeant Hawk the whole issue. So cool. And yeah, so now it's the Sky Demon, and says you're a well-trained seaman in the service of a mighty German Third Reich. A veteran observer, your duty is to search the sky for any sign of the enemy, and you see nothing except a vast emptiness. The air above is cold, ominously silent, desolate. So this is just like normal narration. And then suddenly, in like a little action bubble, says, suddenly from out of nowhere, an American aircraft is swooping down, its engine screaming, its guns chattering their message of death. And you know in a moment that this is the legendary predator known as VIP Gunner, the Sky Demon. And this story is by John Albano, art by Al McWilliams, who we have seen a bunch. I don't know if we've been super impressed by any of it. But this page, I liked the kind of vantage point we're at. I liked the perspective of us kind of right on the side. We're seeing that plane go right towards us. And yeah, and that's VIP Gunner.
VIP.
Yeah, my two notes here was VIP Gunner.
Yeah.
And I did not like that they're trying to like put me in the place of the Nazi seaman.
That is weird.
Whoa,
That was a weird choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this... It's so funny. It's just like, I thought that this was going to be completely from the Germans' perspective, which, I mean, some of it is. I don't know. I don't know if you guys had read that DC war comic from the 70s called, I think it's called Blitzkrieg. It was like 6 issues. It was completely from the Nazi perspective.
I don't think I have, actually.
Yeah, it was kind of controversial. It was, it was pretty well done. I can't exactly remember who did it, but yeah, I thought this was going to be kind of in the vein of that, but no.
But no. Yeah, we're meeting a new character that's going to ride high through this whole run of this title. VIP. And he does insist that you call him VIP.
He does.
Not Vipian or whatever his birth name was. So yeah, they're freaking out. They're like, "Oh my God, was our lookout sleeping? How'd that Amerikaner?" We
do.
Lazy German, yeah.
Lazy German. Here we go. We get a couple of them here.
How did that Amerikaner pass our destroyer's radar undetected? So just freaking like, how did this guy get in here? Our protectors have arrived, Herr Capitan. Dummkopfs. They arrived after the enemy swine has finished his... What? He's circling for another attack. The man is a fool. Nothing can pass through the shield our destroyers are putting up for us. So yeah, they're just like, he is completely outnumbered. This is like Luke taking on the entire empire by himself. Like, boom, boom, boom. Just bombs are exploding all around him. Pow, 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 pow. He is not stopped, Herr Capitan. So he's just like this magical, right? He's on fire. He can't be stopped. This is one of those things where I'm just like, the planes look nice. The boats look nice.
Yeah.
I always appreciate when people are draftsmen when it comes to real world objects.
Yep. They had good reference photos.
Yes, they did.
So I did not know the words that were on the throttle, the helm, whatever you call that.
Yeah, right.
So I looked some of them up. Stop, I obviously know. Klar is ready. Langsam is slowly. And Havkracht is half power.
Okay.
So I guess it goes frontwards and backwards at those things. But
okay.
This thing doesn't go fast, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Fair enough.
Brother Ben with the scripture.
Slowly.
Slowly, yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sorry, Matt.
We use these in the bedroom.
We have to drink
we're
for the
only-
Mr. Show reference.
Oh shit. Good catch. You caught yourself.
I did catch myself. Okay. So yeah, oh man, they're really making it easy for us. Gott in Himmel, a devil is flying that craft. Drink for that.
Yeah.
Good old Kurt Wagner there. As we were carrying a cargo of high explosives, those flames cannot be permitted to. But then the captain's frantic words are cut short as blam, boom, the whole fucking thing just blows up. Says that's a lot of dead Nazis. Big old gulp, my friends. He, his crew, and the heavily laden freighter vanish from the surface of the sea. Then, next one. Then, expertly guiding his P-51 through fiery masses of exploding ack-ack, the Sky Demon wings homeward unscathed, and his Mustang disappears from view aboard one of the German destroyers. Incredible, I've never witnessed such a display of daring. He says, yeah, one day he shall meet a German of superior skill and bravery. Yeah, take that.
Prophecy.
Take that, Vip.
And we would have met him in issue 17. So, for me, Vip Gunner, like, Vip is like an onomatopoeia for the sound of like fire, right? Like vip, 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 vip. Yeah. It's a little on the nose, no?
Vip Gunner. Yeah,
This guy that did a podcast about Jack Russell. Yeah.
Yeah.
We called it out. We mentioned it. Later back at the airfield, so he's getting out of the plane. Captain Gunner, sir? I suppose you know who I am? Yes, sir. Our new base commander, Lieutenant General Sands. Our guy, I don't need everyone to look like Steve Rogers, but this guy was like kind of a schmuck, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Kind of a doughy little short schmuck. I don't know. Says, correct. Now, would you mind telling me about how it is that you came to be permitted to roam the skies independently? Says, without telling anyone when, where, or where you're going. It's like, yeah, our former commander made the decision, General. I know that, but why? I have sort of a gift, sir, a sixth sense that enables me to find and destroy important targets. Well, Captain, that order is rescinded. Is that clear? Yes, sir, but... So, yeah, so we get the sense here that this guy seemed to just have carte blanche. His previous CEO was like, you got the goods, kid. Like, that's, damn it. Another Mr. Show reference.
Oh, that is a Mr. Show reference. God, we need him. We need him this episode.
So he's like, basically, you just go and do your thing. You got a dowsing rod for Nazis or whatever. So you just go out there and do it. So the guy says, no buts. Tomorrow you fly with your squadron and will continue to do so as long as I am in command of this base. Sixth sense, he thinks. Indeed. What rubbish. So the following morning, he has to get in his thing and fly with the rest of the other guys like some schlub. Says, hey, Skipper, did you notice we have a celebrity along with us today? Mr. Sky Demon himself. This is all, sorry. Mr. Sky Demon himself. It's all through the radios. Don't mind Haley, Vip. His insults only mean he admires you. So, yeah, he says, yeah, I know that, Skipper, and when we get back, I'm going to give him a knuckle autograph as a keepsake. Ugh. Homophobia. Rampant. That guy can't be attracted to that guy? He has to punch him for it?
Yeah,
you can't just say, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested. That's all I'm saying.
It's not a knuckle sandwich. It's a knuckle autograph.
Knuckle autograph.
Haven't heard that one before. Yeah.
It's Vip.
It's Vip. Okay. It's his signature.
Mr. Sky Demon himself.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, then some action happens. Some confusing action happens. Uh-oh, sign off, gents. We've got bandits at 9:00. And within minutes, pandemonium breaks loose as men and their machines lock in deadly combat. This panel is maybe my least favorite panel of all time about sky combat.
Yeah.
I didn't like one angle, not one. All weird.
The planes look cool.
The planes look cool, but what they're doing, it does not look cool. It looks weird as shit.
He needs a Frankenstein monster just jumping out.
Seriously, hugging a bomb. And like, I got this, guys.
See, it made it everything better.
Oh.
So speaking of that, Not
Speaking of what,
monsters,
Lucky?
bombs.
Oh,
What? Why are these fighters just out and about by themselves? That's not what fighters did, right? Fighters would go and like protect things or escort bombers to go drop bombs. They wouldn't just be like putzing around.
I just assumed they were on a mission like that
Like
that we
a patrol.
Yeah, like a.
But no, you're right. You're right, Ben. I mean, I think that is.
Because it also goes back to a fighter is strafing these ships. Like that didn't make a lot of sense.
Oh,
And you
well,
got
now
a
I
kill
don't
out
believe
of
any
it, I
of this.
guess. but-
Yeah. Now all of this becomes unbelievable. But yeah, the sky
Gotta find
becomes
something to talk about with this.
But he talks about and young corpses. That was another favorite line of mine for some reason. So then they've cut down these German planes. It says good show, gents. Those goose steppers are calling it a day. Okay, there were some dead Nazis in those planes, fellas. So
Right.
we're gonna take that.
It's implied dead Nazis, but yeah.
Still, oh, you're right. You're right. They could have parachuted out A-Team style
have.
and survived.
Yep.
But
Or Cobra.
Cobra style, yes. Yes, but it's okay, before our fuel runs out, let's head for home. But then good old Vip, hey, Skipper, I've got a hunch about that train down there. Would you mind if... Negative, Vip. You shot 2 109s out of the sky a short time ago. That's all the action I can allow you. Remember, buddy, it's the general's orders, not mine. But he asked so politely. Why would he not let
did.
him? Would you mind?
I cleaned my room
Yeah.
and I did my homework.
Yeah.
I shined my shoes.
Yeah. Can we get McDonald's and blow up that train?
So is there some type of ammo rationing I'm not aware of? Negative, Vip. You shot 2 109s out of the sky a
Nope.
short time ago. That's all the action I can allow
You're
you.
done.
Is there an action rationing?
there is. Yeah. Head for the bench, kid. You did good. It's like, but it's
I love
right
the last
there.
panel.
Last panel is cool.
One of my favorite parts of this whole story.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Looks very accurate, very well rendered. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We ready?
You know it.
So it says, presently, there's our field below, Birdmen. So they all go down to land. Later that same evening, the Sky Demon is summoned to the base commander's headquarters. Have a seat, Captain. So he says, I'm afraid I made a rather costly mistake when I ordered you to fly with the squadron. Tomorrow you're back on your own again. Thanks, General. He says, yes, I blundered when I scoffed at your sixth sense, Captain, because intelligence got word from the underground that a very special enemy was seen on board that train you wanted to attack today. A very special enemy indeed. And we cut back to see that Hitler was on that train. Vip knew in his heart.
Well, he has a sixth sense when it comes to Nazis.
Yeah.
He asked very politely. They should have allowed him to use the very few bullets it would have taken to take out that front of that train. But nope. Hitler lives.
Could have ended this war
Yep.
months ahead of
Yeah, but nope.
timeline.
I do love there's a guy with a monocle next to him.
Well,
It's got to be what, Goering or yeah. I'm trying to think who that could have been.
Lowenbrow? I don't know my Third Reich guys.
Yeah. Okay. So here's where I was just like,
Goebbels.
oh, yeah, Goebbels. Okay. So I was just like, okay, cool. The comic's done, right? Right, guys? Like we're done. Nope. Next we get blazing battle tales, salutes. And so I felt bad. I was just like, fuck, I don't want to read anymore. But then it's about a real dude.
I know.
And so I was like, motherfucker, now I feel bad. So blazing battle tales, salutes. But but I didn't do any research. Maybe this is bullshit, guys.
We should have checked.
We should have checked, right? We should have checked if Bronze Star winner, Private William Swanson, was real. But I don't know. And we get Severin. Why do we get Severin for 2 pages? John Severin, artist.
Do you think that maybe this was meant for throwing adventure stories or something like that? Like Severin already did it. And then they're like, well, there's no third issue, so
I
just
guess,
stick it in.
but it's weird that it's like this. It is like this tribute kind of thing. So it makes me think like, well, no, maybe this was going to be like a continuing thing, like a recurring thing. And you're right. They had Severin doing stories for thrilling adventure stories, ones that we absolutely loved, and he's fucking John Severin. So anytime we get to look at his art, even though this is maybe not his top art I've ever seen by him, but he's still a master. And so, it goes on to tell the story about Rifleman William Swanson, who says Private Swanson's platoon came under an inhuman wall of fire from a nearby bluff. And as American casualties mounted, Private Swanson began sliding his body forward inches at a time, making slow but steady progress inland. And so, so it's basically talking about this private, moving very slowly towards this German machine gun nest.
Oh, yeah. Is it me? Okay. So it's Severin. I mean...
Yeah. It's Severin.
Right?
It's
like
great.
Band of Brothers drawn by Severin. What's not to like here? It says, quickly ruling out a frontal attack as impractical, the wily infantrymen began moving toward the enemy's south flank. So he goes into some shell holes, and he's like hiding in the bushes, and he suddenly reappears from behind a hedgerow that was located... I can't hear hedgerow without thinking of Led Zeppelin. That was located in a position from which the Germans were clearly visible. And then crack, crack, crack. A good marksman, which the infantryman was, could safely and easily pick off each member of the enemy gun crew, which is exactly what Private Swanson did. 3 shots from his weapon and 3 dead Germans proved his marksmanship to be better than good. It was extraordinary. To Swanson and the dead Germans.
Yep. Drink to Private Swanson. May he be real.
Yes. But this unusual rifleman wasn't through. He used the same tactics in wiping out 2 additional enemy machine gun nests, plus 1 lone German sniper. And then we see a little portrait of him lighting up a cig. Lucky strike, I think. When Private Swanson's score for the day was compiled, it was learned that he had killed a total of 11 Germans. And so once again, Private William Swanson, we salute you. Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
That's got to be real, right? I mean, it's a Bronze Star.
It's a Bronze Star. I'm sure this is real, and I should not make light of it. Even though, yes, it's amazing to see John Severin. John Severin is a master. This is not his best work. It's not, by any stretch. As far as just writing-wise, I love these little factual things. I do too. I would have, if this were a continuing book, I would have probably looked forward to this more than, even if it wasn't Severin. Just in general. Yeah, no, these are cool. I love it. And they're 2 pages. It's like, that's what I want for these like true to life, stories, or these little bios, like the war bios, is that, this would have been cool. Yeah, definitely. That's our issue. That's the issue. All right. So this is the part of the show where we do our shout outs. Now, these shout outs are for members who have signed up for our Patreon. We have a couple different tiers of membership. The one that is the most popular is PAC member, and PAC members get access to our shadow show and our archive of what we used to call bonus shows, and now that we call shadow shows. And that is 130. Are we at? That's right. I think we are at 130, if I'm correct. The next one is. Yeah. So we have so much in the archive that you have full access to as a PAC member, video and audio. And video is the way that Matt has carefully edited and crafted each one of these this season for our shadow show, where we've talked about so much cool stuff. And so PAC members get all access to that, and they also get shout outs on the main show. And these are fine folks like Ben Potter, Blake, last name withheld,
Brad Elmore,
Brian Steed, Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Caleb,
Dave Kennedy, David D,
David Goodwin,
Glenn Lash,
Grace,
James Shigas?
Yep.
Jared from Swords and Scrolls podcast,
Jason W,
Jeff Fitzpatrick,
Jerry from Buffalo,
Justin the Owl,
Kyle from the Heartland,
Matt Harvey,
Melissa Watts,
Michelle from Moonlit Comics,
Mighty Morphin Blue,
My Childhood Comics,
Pat Speck,
Rob from Marvel by the Month,
David,
Tony Iupi,
Tim Tucker,
and Worm Drive Pro. Thanks to everybody who supports us as a pack member. We appreciate that support. It means a lot to us. There is a tier above that one, though. The final tier is for the folks we call the Star Gods. These celestial barbarian deities get even more content exclusive to that tier. And so, Jacob, the last one we did just for them was the Human Gargoyle Saga, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And then they're going to get first crack at the Satana stuff that we're recording right now. We're finishing up the Satana saga, which is going to be rolling out over the next couple months. They get early access to all that type of stuff like that. And in addition to that, as a thank you gift, they can go into our Threadless shop after 6 months of being a Star God and pick something out, like a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a travel cup, and we'll send that right to their door. So the hallowed ranks of Star Gods include fine folks like B.A.M, our esteemed guest here this evening.
Oh.
Bill Eschbach,
Brink,
Eric Hadley,
Jason Feinstone,
Jesse McFerrin,
John Walsh,
Josh Link,
MJ,
Mark Nivens,
Michael Giacchino,
Ryan from Across the Bifrost,
and Russ from Taste the Pod of Dracula.
and Uber patron Jackson T. Overstreet.
Yes.
All
I
hail
will
Jackson.
say thank you, Jackson, for this copy that I read of this.
That's right. We all got our floppy of this thanks to Jackson.
Yes, Jackson hooked up all of us. Cool. Thank you so much to the Star Gods. We appreciate you. So this was the sole issue. So there was no letters column. The rest of the story, there was no rest of the story. So we're moving on to final thoughts. Ben, you're our guest. Let us know, what did you think about the experience of reading Blazing Battle Tales?
So there were no stakes. Like, none. I didn't care about anyone. I didn't hate anyone other than my baseline hatred of Nazis. Like there was just not a reason to care reading these. They didn't make me like anyone or have any, like, there's no personalities really. It was just like this weird blank slate. I did not really care for it. The art in the first one was super hit and miss too, and mostly miss. So I liked the airplanes and the boats in the second one. And the third story, and it was cool that they did that, but it was like, I don't know, it was super slight, just a quick little thing. So yeah. If this were the very first World War II comic anyone read, I think they would say not for me.
Fair enough. Jacob?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to agree with our friend Ben on most of those points. But yeah, you brought up the first thing you said. I didn't even realize, but yes, no stakes, zero stakes. I didn't give two shits about any character in here except the dead Nazis. And yeah, the art was weird. It was very uneven, and uneven in a way that just makes you care less. You know, it was just, I don't know. And I know that we're getting, you know, towards the very end of the Atlas run. And, but yeah, this was, I also was curious whether I disliked this as much as I did, just because, like we were talking about at the top of the episode, that comparing this to Savage Combat with Sergeant Stryker. And just being like, and we loved that one so much, and it was done with such care and character development, and there is zero character development for any of these characters, Vip Gunner included. So, yeah, this was a rough one, and I'm a fan of war comics, so this was not great.
Yeah, I was curious, like, how this ranked to you as a true fan of war comics. Like,
really badly.
What letter grade you would give this? But,
an F.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of war comics. I don't know. I try and meet them where they're at. I try and find something good, like in the story or the art or both, hopefully. And I didn't find much in here. If this was supposed to be launching a title, I can't believe this was the opening salvo from the creative team here. Like, Sky Demon, or whatever he's called. Like, that's not a backup. That's barely even a fucking knock joke, like, of a premise. It was ridiculous. Was he supposed to do that over and over again, and then meet the German version of him for some big battle? It was ridiculous. I like the draftsmanship on the art, but I liked the backup of the true stuff. We just talked about that. I thought that was neat. Little tributes to the actual heroes. That first story, man, that was rough. Like, the writing was nonsensical. The art was inconsistent, as you've all said. Anti characters. I mean, just characters that are absolute ciphers, like barely even like stand-in stereotypes of characters. I did not enjoy reading this. Like I told you guys, I think before we started recording, I kind of made me grumpy, actually. Like the week leading up to this, I wrote it a week ago. I was like, fuck, I hope Ben's available, because I don't, if it's just me and Jacob, the old married couple just staring across the diner table at each other for talking about fucking this book, I was like, this is going to be a rough one. Yeah. So thank God Ben was here, because I did not enjoy this at all.
No, it was so good to have you here, Ben. I know it wasn't an enjoyable experience reading for you, but we were very excited for you to be here.
Yep. Appreciate your presence.
Thank you for your service.
It's always fun to see you too. So
yes, and you as well. All right, so that's our final thoughts. I think we all loved it. So next up, we have the rock star Jackson T. Overstreet on the show. Finally, he's going to talk with us about Western action starring Kid Cody, Gunfighter, and the Comanche Kid. Just comes trippingly off the tongue. So this has got two stories in it. One's by Larry Lieber, with art by Doug Wildey. I don't know if I know Wildey, but I flipped through it and I like the art that I saw. And the stories by, seen Steve Skeets before, right? Something, because I remember saying, is it Skates or Skeets? And he said, I think it's Skeets. I remember that conversation.
Yeah, I do too. I can't remember what the exact story is. No, I'm excited to talk about that one. Doug Wildey for designing Johnny Quest.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking at the art and I was like, this looks so familiar. I mean, now that you said that, I can see it.
Yeah, but he's just as famous. I mean, maybe, that's probably the most famous thing he did. But he did a billion Western comics. He kind of set the standard art-wise for Western comics in general. So I'm excited to talk about this one.
Well, that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. We talked about Caleb Hammer in the Shadow Show. We made that public, didn't we?
Yeah, we made that public because we loved it so much.
Yeah. So if you want to check out, if you're curious what the Shadow Show is like, we've done a few of them. I think our upcoming one, Jacob, I think I'm going to make that public as well. Yeah. So if anybody wants to dip in here towards the end of the run and just do a couple months of being a supporter and get those 130 episodes and extra bonus stuff we do, it's all there for you. You can download all of it. Check it out, So yeah, I'm looking forward to this because we love Caleb Hammer. We loved Monarch Starstalker. Like, we've really enjoyed all the Western adjacent or Western things that we've done. So, and Jackson's a huge Western fan. So he's very excited to talk with us about this. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. But first, if you do want to support us on the Shadow Show, but we are making this one public, as I said, I believe, depending on if it goes well. My daughter Athena is joining us. We don't have guests on the Shadow Show very often, but we did want to have Athena on. She's an aspiring actor, and she does voice work and stuff like that. She wants to, and she's voiced Satana since we started doing these dramatizations, these kind of radio drama style things of Satana. And so she just came home for college. She just read the last 3 stories over the Christmas break. So we're getting those in the can. I was very excited that we got a former professional anime voice actor. He came back and he's going to do the voice he did in an earlier chapter, which was great because I did not read ahead. I didn't realize that character came back. So when he was nice enough to do voice work for us, I was like, oh shit, the guy comes back. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So we got a returning voice talent coming back, and we're going to be squeezing these out, but we're going to talk with Athena about what it was like playing this character this whole time. She started like 1.5 years or 2 years ago, and she just wrapped it up. So talk about what that was like for her. And we're going to just kind of take a quick little look at where Satana went from here, and like her looks and feels as she had through Marvel up until present day. She was last seen in Blood Hunters or something like that, related to that event book that happened in 2024.
Blood Hunt.
About vampire stuff.
Yeah.
Blood Hunt. So, she was last seen like within the last year. So Satana's always working around the edges. So feel free to come here and check out that Shadow Show, which I believe Jacob is right. I think it's episode 130. That'll be next week. But we'll be talking about the Western book in 2 weeks. So we were on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. We'd love it if you went there and gave us a follow. We'll follow you back. And also you can go there and find links to the ballot. If you don't know how to find the ballot to vote on the Atlas Seaboard season, they're in our thread, in our feed. And you can also go to patreon.com/Bronze Age Monsters if you do want to back the show, or you can go to the public post that's accessible by anybody and get your ballot there. And we would love it if you left a comment. If you like this video, you subscribe to us, spread it to somebody you think would like it. That'd mean a lot to us. We'd appreciate that. All right, Ben, thank you so much for making this work and slogging through some Nazi blood with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for working around my weird schedule the last couple of weeks.
Yes. Well, it was worth it. Nazi blood and mediocre art, I guess I should say.
Best combo.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week, either in audio or on YouTube. We appreciate your eyes and ears or ears. As we always say here, until next time, stay bronze, Pony Boy. Stay bronze.